I'm kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting. And I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations. And of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most money, which is the job of real estate investing.
I wanted to jump on this morning and give a shout out to Real Estate IQ. I began my journey with them few years ago, just using some of the more basic products, the off-market leads. And since then, growing and visiting and talking with not only Steve, but other people who are involved with Real Estate IQ, I've had the opportunity to actually not only be a client, but I also became an investor with them. And that is one of the beauties of being able to be part of Real Estate IQ, is it gives you the opportunity to grow as an investor, especially in real estate.
I'm kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting. And I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations. And of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most.
All right, welcome everybody. Let's get started. We have a lot of really cool information and specifically case studies that we have prepared for you. And this month, actually in the month of May, we're gonna have a theme of AI. How do we really leverage AI to help us with our lead generation, sales and marketing, and maybe even on the operations side of our business. So we're gonna take a look at AI impact on our labor market today as one of the special reports that we'll be sharing. Let's see what else. So maybe we can kind of look at it from a context of from a real estate investor standpoint. How does that affect the macro market, and what kind of opportunity does that provide for us? So let's get started. Okay, so our host organization, Real Estate IQ, and I think kind of the key product here is the off-market distressed seller leads, right? Where you can have access to information of folks that really need to sell their property. And that's where we get most of our deal sources from. We want to encourage you to, regularly visit our website for market updates and events and classes. That's gonna help upgrade your mindset and how you're gonna do deals. And also join our weekly live stream here. There are new deals that come across our desk. Today we have some unusual deals, which I think may be here to stay. There are a lot of opportunities out there. You just need to find the kind of places where you can find deals that have a strong discount, right? So we're gonna continue to stay with the theme of finding good deals, and you might be surprised with some of the deals that we're finding now. Okay, success stories. I'm gonna skip over these. Disclaimer. We are focusing on providing educational purposes only. Always do your due diligence before you make any investment decision. And we don't offer investment, financial, or legal advice in this next hour. And if you have a lead, right, you need help closing the deal, you can either share it here, you can send it to me on my inbox, and most importantly, you can also join our Friday office hours where we can give you some one-on-one attention to help you analyze the deals. Okay, so today's agenda, we are finishing up our welcoming and introduction, and then we're gonna look at our market update, spend some time on case studies, and I mentioned that our feature topic is actually gonna be on AI, the AI impact on labor, on the labor market. Before we do that, I just want to share with everybody an event recap. We did in-person networking event. It also combines with education and deal pitch and panels where we really explore and kind of do a deep dive on the topic. Last Friday's topic, actually was in private lending and how lenders look at deals and how they underwrite deals and what are the things that they look for in a deal and also in a borrower. So we learned a lot, but what I was most impressed by is the quality of people that are in the event. Like these are the folks that are actively doing the deals, and so a lot of great connections were happening, not just during the event, but at the networking event, the networking portion right before the event, and also right after. So want to highly encourage you to, if you're in Dallas in the DFW area, to attend. It's on Fridays in the morning, and the event starts at 9:30. My recommendation is probably arrive at 9 at the latest, because the first kind of 9 to 9:30, maybe a little bit after 9:30 is kind of the golden hour where you make great connections, right? You meet the high quality people and set up follow-up meetings and appointments where you can make more deals happen, right? Make quality connections. Really, really enjoyed again the folks that were there, the speakers, the panelists, the deal makers. So we'll be continually supporting this event, and we'll be attending too. So we look forward to seeing you there. The next one is going to be on May 22nd, and location is TBD. You can try to scan the QR code and RSVP for it, and if it doesn't work, just send me an email. I can send you the direct link. Okay, so look forward to meeting you in person there. So a couple of market updates, right? Mortgage application has fallen 1.6% week over week. What does that mean, right? Purchase application, on the other hand, has gone up 1%, and it has gone up 21% year over year, while the refinance volume is actually the one that has dropped. And then the real estate market pulse, right? The spring momentum is starting to build up. We're seeing more properties being put on the market as well. And anecdotally, as we're doing market analysis on particular deals, we are also seeing a lot of houses are being put on the market. You can see that through the inventory increase. The demand for mortgage has been easing because of the 30-year mortgage rate is now at 6.23%, which is the lowest for this season. The Zillow home value, they have revised their home value growth to about 0.3% by year end, and existing home sales to be between 3 and 4 million properties. The inventory gain, right, and the elevated rate is expected to keep price appreciation in check, and that signals a stabilizing but booming market as we go into May. Again, if you want to kind of read the actual analysis from Zillow, you can join our website, and the links are available for you to read further. Okay, so let's look at a couple of case studies. We spent a little bit of time, quite a bit of time today to prepare these case studies for you. I think today we have three cases. So this one is a rental property in Mahia. I will share the specific numbers later, but this is an example of a property that needed work, right? We acquired it, remodeled it, and basically improve it. And we just got the lease assigned to start in May. So this property is going to be occupied and it will be cash flowing pretty well. These are the before photos. And I think these are also before photos. You can see, it's got good bones, right? It just needs remodeling, updating. Not much else going on here. So you can see, now this is where we see the before and after. We repainted the kitchen, right? New flooring and new paint on the kitchen cabinets and new countertop. Also updated the bathroom. Okay, there was a window, actually like a opening here, so you could actually like stick your hand out and you'll be outside of the house. So we sealed that and put all that together and upgraded the bathroom. This is the before and after of the back part of the house, almost like a living area. If you kind of go through that door, that's where the garage is. And the garage it looks oversized as well. So there's some opportunity to kind of either add additional square footage or just kind of use that as a space for storage for the tenant. Okay, this is the other angle, from the garage door, looking into the house. And this is one of the bedrooms. So these are the numbers. Okay, they end up looking really good, right? So purchase price 66, rehab, it wasn't a lot of work, so 24,000. So all in about 90,000. The after repair value is about 140, and expected rent at the time was 1,400, 1,500, right? So that was above the 1% rule of thumb. Let's just say we end up refinancing at 140. The cash flow will still work really well. In addition to the force appreciation, right? When we put in 90K, it's worth 140. That's a 50K force appreciation gain. We purchased that basically a year ago. Monthly interest is $825. We actually had a signed lease about a month or two ago, and the tenant at the time, we had a lot of interest. I think the area is growing. We had a lot of interest. The lady ended up wiring the first month and deposit, maybe not wiring, but sent it to the wrong person. And after a while, she was able, a lot of hassle, she was able to get it back, but we couldn't hear from her anymore and to kind of continue with the lease. So we put it back on the market, and now it's leased again. So everything happened pretty fast. I think, again, there's demand for affordable quality housing in this area. So that's a, relatively success case. We are getting ready for move in for the new tenant. They found a couple of items that need to get worked on. So we're working on that both yesterday and today and getting it ready for move-in. This is the next case, which is a deal that's currently in progress. Okay, we call it Navasota. That's a street name. The appraised value after it's fixed up is 165. And it was asking for, I forgot now, but kind of all in, we're looking at 100,000, and kind of the expected value when all is said and done is 165. So that's also a nicely discounted house, right? Really good for the BRRRR method. We rehab, buy, rehab, rent, refi, and you repeat. So these are some before photos on the outside, exterior, the interior. The house needed quite a bit of work. It needed foundation work. It needed the trees trimmed down, and also interior update. So all of this is in progress right now. So I'll share with you some more recent photos. So here are also before photos. I think what's the most significant items were the foundation, and then also you see the windows are broken, right? Broken windows in the area. So neighbors are very happy because we're improving the neighborhood, right? We're improving the quality of this house. It was just sitting vacant for a long time. So now this is kind of the beginning of the work. As you can see down here, we're digging holes to repair the foundation, both inside and outside. And actually, the first thing that we did, which I didn't share, was trimming down the overgrown grass in the lawn. Okay, so here we're kind of in work. We're ripping everything out. And we shared some of these photos a couple of weeks back. Okay, rip everything out, and now we're starting to install the new windows. Okay, these are new windows. New windows are getting put in place. And the materials end up costing quite a bit too, because we gotta replace all the windows. But it's adding a lot of value to the property, right? It's part of the rehab. So putting new windows, and then we're putting in new drywalls now here. So it's still in work. I think this might be the last photo that we have available. I think it has made more progress this week. All of this were the photos we received last Friday, and we're expecting the project to be pretty much done by the end of April. Maybe it's gonna overrun a couple more days, but we should be looking pretty good. The goal this week was to, as you can see, the interior is pretty much ready for new interior paint. So we're gonna paint inside, and then get all the flooring in, and it's pretty much done. Okay, maybe this is the more recent photo. Okay, these are the more recent photos. So we have kind of sealed, right, the gaps, and then the next step is to put the interior paint in. So kudos for Tamla for kind of hand holding, right, making sure the project moves smoothly, and also getting the material, making sure everything is provided for the contractor to finish the work. So we're almost done there, and then we have another project for the contractor. Okay, so this is speaking of another project. Excuse me. This is the next one. So this is our third case study, and this is just in the acquisition mode. This is in a street name called Jacinto. We just closed last Friday, right after the Dealmakers event. We signed up the papers, everything. It was asking for 129. We were able to get under contract for 100,000. Estimated rehab to be about 70,000, and a conservative ARV is at 240. So we're looking at a 70% deal, right? 170 divided by 240, you get 70%, which is at about 30% discount. From a fix and flip standpoint, that's kind of what we're looking at. So that is certainly, fix and flip is certainly one of the potential exit strategies, and the intention is to keep it and for buy and hold. Okay, the work that's needed on the property mainly is the roof. There were like 3 layers of roof shingles that are adding a lot of weight load on the weight bearing beams, and so we're gonna get a new roof, and then interior upgrade, and then that's pretty much it. Okay, big lot, a lot of light. So we're excited, and we're looking forward to getting the work started, and we'll be sharing the progress of this deal as we go, right? In the next couple of weeks, I think we're expecting to get started next week or the week after. Okay, so these are the deals that we have. Let's see. Yes, this is one of them. So we started getting connections for construction materials. This is one of the clearance items. If you look on Amazon, it's basically there are 2 panels that are noise canceling, and also I think there is also a lot of value for being decorative. You can put it on the wall and absorb sound. The asking price is about $110. We're able to get it for $25 per order. There is a minimum order, so I think if you have an active project, then it's worth checking it out. We haven't seen the material ourselves, so we're actually gonna place a test order and take a look at it. From what we're seeing, I think it's a pretty nice, high quality material, and I guess we'll know for sure when we when the part actually arrives. I think right now they are trying to get rid of the current inventory that they have in the warehouse, which is why they're trying to sell it at this price. And based on the $110 price, we're looking at a 78% discount. So this is a really, really good deal for those folks that are actively doing deals, right? You're rehabbing the property. Construction material can start adding up in terms of cost. So this could be an interesting upgrade on what you're currently doing, make the property look much nicer. So we're very excited to get our hands on the property and on these items and kind of see how it looks and how it feels. Okay, another one that kind of applies, I think, here is the door strip that you can put on the door. It's probably more belong to like home improvement, and this is about half price. So I'm not gonna talk too much about it. I think it's interesting. We have some of these in some of our properties. We added them ourselves. I think it's probably really useful for a homeowner. If you're a homeowner for your own home. If for investment property, I don't know if there's a lot of value. So it's up to you, but you can certainly consider that for your home improvement. So that's what I mean. These two are kind of unusual deals, but kind of based on the connection where we've been establishing. These could be we may have more materials here that you can purchase for your flips. Okay, we had a deal pitch segment, but today no one has submitted their pitch, so we're gonna skip over this one. And we have more deals that are in the inventory and also in our partners' inventory. We have buy and hold, fix and flip, and also raw land. And so if you're looking into any kind of investment opportunities, scan that QR code and reach out to us, and we'll match you with the type of deals that fit your buy box. I think here, maybe just to spend 30 seconds on this, what we're realizing and what we're learning is for those that are just getting started, you can learn a lot of the theory and why real estate can help you build wealth, how to do it. But when it comes to actually implementing the strategy, right? What do you need to do on a daily basis to execute? How do you handle each deal? We find that there's usually a gap in number one is to consistently do it. And then number two, how to do it when it comes to a particular step. So the purpose of this Deal Accelerator program, and we'll probably kind of open up 1 or 2 slots for each county, and we'll only work with 1 or 2 folks per county, so there's no overlap in the deals, is we'll give you the leads list, they're exclusive. We will also tell you exactly what you need to do, and if you kind of follow that process, you will, within 90 days, you're going to get a full pipeline, and you're very likely going to get some deals under contract, right? If you kind of just follow the prescribed steps. And so we're finding that for the folks that are, really looking for true results, and not about theory, not about, more ideas, but exactly what needs to be done, and you just gotta keep your head down and execute. I think that's what we need in the beginning, because a lot of times when you're ready for this program, the education time is over, right? You already learned all that stuff. You already know what you need to know, but you have not done what you need to get done yet. And so that's what this accelerator program is about, is how the rubber hits the road and how exactly you need to get this done. And we think the market still needs these programs for somebody that are ready to see results, right? We want to train future deal makers that are actively doing volume number of deals and really kind of grow our market. So that's the purpose of this deal accelerator. So a lot of the deals that we have is through this program, the deal accelerator program, and a lot of I think it's not about fancy ideas, right? It's about doing the grunt work and whatever it takes to get the job done and create that traction for your business. Okay. All right. So this is kind of our keynote piece, and we're going to talk about a really special report. This is published by Anthropic, which is the company behind Claude AI, and they have done a very cool study on labor market impact of AI. And I'm sure anybody that is if you're in the workforce, you're probably concerned about your own job security and how AI is going to impact your job. If you have kids that are about to graduate from college and enter the workforce, right? What are they going to be encountering, and what kind of skill set do they need to really kind of prepare yourselves for this new world and new economy? So that's what we see in this report. If you're curious about reading this whole report, you can send me a message, and I'm more than happy to share this with you. So a couple of key points in this report. This is a 17-page report. So let me kind of just elaborate on the next couple of key points here. So what you're seeing here is the usage based on the different type of jobs. Okay, and what you see is the blue lines and the red lines. The blue lines are the theoretical lines of basically saying, okay, out of all the tasks, and let's just take management for example, out of all the tasks that management need to be done, how much can be done through AI? So as if it's kind of filling out the circle, that means most of the work can be automated by AI, right? By innovative use of AI and kind of the progress of how we can use AI. Yesterday, I was actually, as an aside, in a AI meetup in North Dallas, and there's so many cool ideas that people are using AI for. You can use AI to create new recipes for a food bank. You can use AI to automate the validation of invoices in your inbox. There's a lot of real kind of real world business applications that you can doing, and all these folks are doing really cool stuff. And so I think it's just a matter of time of whatever can be automated is very likely to be automated. Okay, so as you can see, so let's just kind of stay with the blue area first. So basically what we're seeing is management, right? Business finance, computer and math, architecture, and I guess on this side, office and admin. Those are the jobs that are very likely to be replaced, not today, but in the near future. Okay, so if AI can do a lot of the work, what does that mean? We want to be, we either don't want to enter the field, or we want to enter the field with the skill set to build all these workflows using AI, right? So I think the future is in the ability to utilize AI to automate a lot of the work, right? And checking and making sure the work gets done. All right, and then you can also see a lot of the manual type of work. You see ground maintenance, very, very low. It's actually all the way to 0. Construction, very low. Right? It's very hard for just AI software to automate a lot of that. Maybe some of the administrative part of organizing the work can be automated, but a lot of kind of, I guess, blue collar and manual labor, it will be difficult to automate for now. So that's what I see on the blue side. The red one is the observed coverage, which means people that are actually using Claude AI to automate tasks. This is what they're doing now, and as of right now, people are using it a lot for computer and math. Some in business and finance, not that much in management yet, but also a lot of office and admin. Okay, and now on the other side, you see some use in legal, education, and arts and media. That's how we read this chart. So what does that mean? That means, over time, the red area can potentially take over, right, and kind of cover up whatever the blue area is. Okay, but it's not there yet today. And you can also see that, as we're kind of entering, within the workforce, right, which ones are going to be safer? It's harder to get replaced by jobs. Well, it's construction, okay, it's repair, production, anything that can require manual labor, AI cannot do yet, unless they automate it using robots. Cool. So that's this chart. Any comments or questions? Feel free to share that. So kind of the key point here on this slide is LLM, large language model, right? AI penetration is in the majority of tasks is in computer and math at 94%, and office and admin occupations, which is 90% of the task. Okay. That's all I want to talk about on this slide. This is a really cool chart, actually. So, and then this table talks about the most exposed occupations, right? Where the task can be automated by AI, and it could lead to displacement. And by exposure, right? They talk about exposed. So this is the amount of task that can be automated. You can see, computer programming is at the top, customer service, okay, data entry. AI is gonna automate a lot of this type of repetitive work, and a lot of the customer service. You may ask, well, how do you get AI to deal with difficult clients? Well, a lot of the customer service tasks can be routine. And then when you have, say, angry clients that are upset, those are the ones where you can escalate to a human being. But a lot of the kind of lower tier type of task can be automated. Okay. And then computer programming, you can see like maybe there's not a reason to learn how to code anymore. I think I would say that kind of maintaining a writing code, we don't really need a human being to spend all that work and coming up with the logic and the codes and try to debug anymore. But if we know how the code is written, so we can check the computer's work, and if we know how to leverage AI to write the code, there is still a lot of work that's needed for that. So let's see. What else do I want to say about this chart? I think that's all we got here. Okay, this is the third chart. Okay, BLS, that's a Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's a U.S. United States government branch. They are projecting employment growth in the next 10 years versus AI exposure. So on here, from 0 to here 0.7 to 1, that's how much work is being exposed to AI automation. Okay, so if you're on the right, you're more likely to be automated. Okay, the task is more likely to be automated. And then down here is the employment percentage. So if you're above 0, there's more job growth. If it's minus, that means there's negative job growth. Jobs are disappearing. And as you can see, if I kind of draw this line across the 0, the two jobs that are gonna start going away over time is the cashiers, right? We're already seeing, even at burger place, we're manually placing our own orders and then asked to give a tip. Okay, cashiers, and then you also have customer service. That the majority of the jobs are gonna get automated. And then if you kind of go up, these are the ones that are still, relatively positive growth: lawyers, accountants, software development, right? Electrician, registered nurses. Another thing I want to point out is that, there's no statistics that shows the jobs are people are being laid off. Okay, the experienced workers are not being laid off, but the hiring of younger workers in those professions have slowed down. So, we're not seeing the folks that experience that are currently in the market losing their job per se, but more on the new roles, right? New openings, new positions opening up for the younger workers. So that's going to affect the new graduates. Okay, this is our last table. And what this is saying is, in terms of being exposed to AI, a couple of things that point out is that the most exposed groups, you can kind of see here in terms of the difference is they're more likely, this is not political at all, this is just statistics, right? They're more likely to be female. They're more likely to be white, non-Hispanic. And here you can kind of see that on the Asian female, I guess Asian, it has doubled, right? The percentage is not crazy high, but it has doubled. And then they're more likely to be highly educated, and they're more likely to be high earners. So the more the higher earning jobs are being automated first, and I guess more educated ones are also more exposed. They're going to be more likely to be automated first. So what does that mean? If we're in the job market today, I think it's imperative that we get really, really good at number one is utilizing AI to automate a lot of the tasks that we're doing. I think the future is not about doing the task itself anymore. It's about how to use AI to automate more and more tasks, making sure that the automation is done correctly and done well, and basically kind of sit at a kind of supervisory role of the AI. Okay, and then also maybe creating ways to kind of continue to check the work, etc. Another thing I would personally recommend is just kind of creating a ways where you can create where you can get another income stream. Okay, build a new income stream as you go, and a lot of the manual work is still quite safe from automation. Okay, and the reason we are here is because we are concerned about real estate investment, right? And creating extra income stream through real estate. And so, if you're here, you're listening to this, you're in the right place. If you are still unsure about the wealth creation power and the income power of real estate yet, you need to watch some of our recorded classes that we're running on a weekly basis. Just make sure you watch all of those, right? So you kind of understand why real estate and why it works. You're here probably, if you don't have a strong, a specific reason, it's probably just you intuitively know that real estate is your path for creating financial freedom and creating extra income at the very least. When you watch those recordings and those classes, you're going to understand exactly why it works and how it works. Okay, so the key summary of this report is that there is the theoretical capability, right? And we saw the different roles that can be automated quite well, actually. But AI is far from being able to reach its theoretical capability right now. Okay, so I guess the opportunity is to you can resist the wave, or you can kind of go with the wave. If you choose to go with the wave, is figuring out how to use AI to automate the task and kind of help it reach its theoretical capability. And there's always, I think, opportunity for being successful doing that. And occupations, right? Jobs that have high exposure, they're going to grow less. There are going to be less job openings opening up in those sectors. And then the workers that are in exposed professions tend to be, blah blah blah. Those are kind of the main statistics that we see. I got some folks that asked me to enlarge the slides. I think that's the biggest we have. And if you want to dive into this further, you can download the report. Okay, so you send me an email at steve.liang@realestateiq.co, and I'll forward you this report. Okay, we have this new app called dealsnearme.io. You can scan the QR code if you want to start using that. This is going to give you where the deals are. A lot of the times, these are the houses that are about to go into foreclosure. So if you are actively like driving for dollars, looking for deals, this would be a really cool app to use. It's still in trial mode, so I think it's still free. We have this promotion going on, and the pricing model is also very different. Instead of going by a monthly subscription, we're gonna sell by deals, and sell by leads, and so you can kind of start with a much lower price point and start kind of getting into the game. So that's the intention of us launching this app. So if there's any Q&A questions, Julio is asking me to write my email. I can type it up here on the comment. Okay, here are our upcoming events. Okay, so we just had this event on how to find discounted houses. Tonight we have the pre-foreclosure gold mine. I highly recommend this class, pre-foreclosure gold mine. In fact, in the Deal Accelerator program, that's what we're going to focus on, is the pre-foreclosures. These are the folks that are most motivated. They're most likely to be willing to make a deal. And the time it takes for you to find success in deal making is going to be much shorter if you focus on the houses that are about to hit the foreclosure. And if you have a lot of cash sitting in your bank account, you might consider bidding at the foreclosure auction. Just make sure you take this class and also get in touch with us, right? So you understand all the pitfalls, right? What you need to avoid and how you can be successful in the foreclosure auction. Okay, so you can either buy it before it goes into foreclosure, or you can buy it at the foreclosure. Okay, there are advantages on both. And then talking about income creation and wealth building power of real estate. This Friday we have the 6 ways, right? Different ways you can make money, and also the ways you can build wealth. This is a really awesome class that kind of gives you the overview of why real estate, and also like why are we doing it? What are the cool techniques that we're using? What are the right strategy to build up a real estate portfolio, and why? Why is that a wealth building a technique? Like how does that impact my wealth, my personal wealth over time? And we'll be explaining a lot of that. And if you want to talk more about it, right? If you want to discuss, that's where our office hours is about. I'm more than happy to talk more about, any of these topics in detail, what we just covered today, what we're passionate about, talk about AI, talk about funding, capital, I think anything, talk about life. I think we're all cool for that. That's what the office hours is about. And, we'll have more one-on-one time, and I can sit down and explain any kind of case study or any real example in detail to make sure we really understand it. And of course, if you have a hot lead and you don't know how to work it, right? You kind of get to a point and like maybe they ask you a question and go, okay, what am I supposed to do? They just call me. They gave me all this information. What am I supposed to do? How do I close the deal? That's what this office hours can be about. And we can walk you through how to do that all the way to writing a contract. And then Friday at 11 a.m., we have the open house where we talk about all the opportunities that we see in both real estate and finance. Because, as a real estate investor, we're actually in the intersection of real estate and finance. And in a way, data and technology as well, right? That's kind of what gives us the edge. So how do we combine all that together, and how do we get involved? So that's what the open house is about. All right, so I think that's all we have for you today. And this is our ending slide. The most important thing is taking action. There are times to learn. And in fact, I'm kind of learning a lot about AI, but I have not taken real action yet. I have a good friend. His name is Vincent. He's showing me, all the cool things you can do. He walked me through it, and I didn't, I guess I did it. I did the action, but I didn't like really process how to do it myself. So I guess, the next couple of days, right? This weekend, I'm going to digest and learn the rest, catch up. And then next week, I'm going to start taking action. And I think it's really through action and like, doing the wrong things and failing is where we really learn, right? You can really learn through immersive learning by doing it. And so just want to really highly encourage you to start taking action, right? ASAP. You don't wait. I mean, you can wait, and then next month you're in the same place. So just start taking action. Don't overthink it. I think when we're just starting out, we tend to overthink. And I think when I reflect back, I always go, well, what was I hesitant about? I could have just kind of gotten started. I think a lot of the times when I wait, I end up wasting time. I'm not being productive using the time. So okay, that's kind of my personal experience, and you may agree or disagree, but I highly would appreciate if you agree. And look forward to meeting you in person, either in our live event in Dallas or in our office hours. We'd love to make a connection and see how we can add value to you. All right, have a great day and great rest of the weekend. A lot of deals are happening. The economy, we can say it's great. We can say it's bad. We can say, a lot of things that we're worrying about that worries us. But I think if we're creating value and making progress, then I think, the economy can be working really well for us if we put ourselves in the right spot, right? And by positioning, how do you position yourself to do well? Well, you got to move, right? You got to get into it and you got to move. Okay, that's all I got for you. We have a lot of opportunities that we're working on right now. So if you're interested in kind of learning more about that, I think office hours or reach out to me. I share my email address here, and look forward to connecting soon. Okay, thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
kind of pitching myself here as somebody who's an experienced investor, but always, I'm definitely new to this business as well. I just want to speak about this product and just how much, it has really helped me, propel myself, get better with talking with sellers, actually be able to close a deal. My strategies right now have been primarily direct mail, cold calling, and cold texting. And I've found a lot of success with Real Estate IQ, especially being able to get in front of customers, have engaging conversations. And of course, I'm hoping to use all of that to build my own business and eventually retire off.
Excited to be here, and I want to say a big thank you to Real Estate IQ. They have the absolute top leads in the industry and just make investing effortless for all of us as real estate investors here in Texas and obviously everywhere else that they're focused. And I'm proud to be associated with Real Estate IQ. Love what you guys do and love how you all help investors so that we can focus on the thing that makes us the most money, which is the job of real estate investing.
I wanted to jump on this morning and give a shout out to Real Estate IQ. I began my journey with them a few years ago, just using some of the more basic products, the off-market leads. And since then, growing and visiting and talking with not only Steve, but other people who are involved with Real Estate IQ, I've had the opportunity to actually not only be a client, but I also became an investor with them. And that is one of the beauties of being able to be part of Real Estate IQ, is it gives you the opportunity to grow as an investor, especially in real estate.